Management is all about planning, and people who can plan properly are the ones who are most likely good managers. So, any manager should be able to plan, and sometimes when we plan as a manager, we need to put it in writing. And strategic plan is just one of those documents where we put things that we plan in writing. But ability to plan is one of the skills in management. And strategic planning enables us to go to the top of the organization, top of the company, and create a plan on the strategic orientation of the company. While at the bottom of the company, we have operational plans or action plans, which are executing the strategic plan which comes from the top. Now, when we prepare a strategic plan, we have to be aware that we need to start by asking ourselves where we are now and where do we want to be in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years' time. And this thought process of deciding where we want to be in a future period from the current situation where we are now is what we call the strategic planning process. And every company has internally some kind of system which goes through the strategic planning process. And this process, according to the best companies out there, is a continuous process. It never stops. It continues all the time. And it is revisited several times, maybe 4 times a year or 2 times a year, in order to determine whether we are on the right track. Now, when you ask yourself, where do you want to be in 1, 2, 3 years? You definitely need to also think about the vision of the company. And what does that mean? Having a vision means knowing how you see your company in 3 years or in 5 years. And this forces you to think about the big picture, to think about not the details, but the big stuff. And here you start thinking about things like how much revenues does the company want to have in 3 years? How much does it have now? And how we are going to get there. Also, what kind of clients do we want to serve? What kind of clients do we have now? And what kind of clients we wish to have in 3 years? Also, what kind of products and services do we want to sell? What kind of products and services we sell now? And what kind do we want to sell in the next, after 3 years? So when we start asking these kind of questions and having brainstorming sessions with our colleagues, that's when we are going through the strategic planning process. The other thing that strategic planning does, it also helps us answer some other questions like, why do we exist? What is the mission of our company? We exist because we have a purpose. What is the purpose? Are we here to serve clients about something very specific? Of course, we are here to make money, but what else are we here for? Why does this organization exist? And also, what are the major goals of the organization? What are we trying to achieve? And these can be put into goals, into objectives, and also into priorities, so that we focus our mind on achieving our goals, objectives, and priorities. Additionally, we start thinking about resources. What kind of resources do we need now in order to become successful in the future? And when we talk about resources, we are talking about people mostly, and then we are talking about finances. We are talking about work resources like computers and all kinds of things that softwares, all kinds of things that we use today in order to perform our job. And all these things we need to think about in order to get ready for achieving the future that we want to achieve. Also, definitely we want to think about customers and who will be our customers. And we need to think about this very loud and clear, because in terms of customers, we must be able to target specifically a group of customers that are our niche or our target audience. Also, because of the process that we are going through, we must make sure that we understand where we are right now and we understand the current situation. Before we understand the current situation, we cannot properly plan for the future. So a good understanding of current situation will allow us to have a better plan for the future. And we need to do this regularly, and we cannot stop because the external environment is continuously changing. We have many different factors from outside who are impacting the way we do business. That's why we have to be alert, we have to be flexible, and we have to have a plan so that we know what we need to change in that plan every time we look at it. And this plan is definitely a lively document. So in this course, we are going to look at how we prepare this plan, and we're going to provide templates and samples so that you can get started immediately.